Welcome to Christian Practices. We're just going to look at three things over these next three episodes, and we're going to start off with the role of the church. The role of the church in the local and worldwide community. So that's just not a small subject. We should be able to nail that one quite quickly. The role of the church in the local and worldwide community. So in this little episode, we're going to explain what is meant by the church, and we're going to touch on Christian charity. Those are the two things we're going to look at. So explain what is meant by the church. Alright, really should be not a difficult thing. Okay, no, that is not the church. Yes, it's a church. Okay, it's a toy, but you know what I mean. It's like it's a real church. If it was a real church, it still would just be a church building. A church building. And so this is what I try quite hard to convey, is that yes, this is a church, but so are we, the church. So a bunch of Christians, we are the church. Now, the thing is, what's really difficult to explain is the difference between, church, we consider ourselves as a group of people. All right. So think people. Here's some people. More people. Okay, running out of hands. Group. This is the church. This is the church. Not this. This is the church. This is the church. Now, you're a really nice person, and you do lots of really nice things, and that's great. Well done. Carry on doing the really nice things that you do. But what if a group of you were to get together and do really nice things? You see, then you become a team. So we call it the church, because we're a bunch of people, and we get together and we do things that we just wouldn't be able to do if it was just me, if it was just you. We can do so much more when we come together and form a community. So we refer to ourselves as the church family, the church community, not church goers. Please don't use that. It's just so horrible. Please don't say that. Church goers, because that's about you as an individual popping in here. You are one of the popping in here. That's what you just did. You popped in. You went to church building. See, that's great. Good for you. But it doesn't really it's not quite the same as being part of the community, the family of the church. So when we work together as a team, as a community, as a church family, then there's a bunch of stuff that we can do. And so that's what we mean when we say the church. Okay? We're an odd mixture of we're a terribly weird bunch of people. But then so is your class. You look around, you go, oh, really, a bunch of weird people. And some of them you get on with and some of them you don't get on with. And there you are. That's family. That's how it is. So you're thinking, but you're all Christians. Well, yeah, no, actually, I wouldn't always rush to that. There's plenty of folk who, sometimes it's run by Christians, but there are plenty of non-Christians who come along and just, because we like what you do, we want to help. And sometimes it's run by non-Christians, and the Christians will go along and go, that's pretty cool, can we help? And so it's all part of that. So it's really difficult to nail it down too much. Invariably, if it's a church activity, like some of the things we're going to talk about, then yes, it's run by the church, meaning the church family, church community, and so yes, on the whole, these folk, they'll be baptized. Actually, maybe they won't be. They'll all believe the same thing. Yeah, no, that's not true either. They'll all really love Jesus. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we could probably go with that. Okay, now in this session, when we look at what is meant by the church, I'm not going to talk to you about reading your Bibles. I'm not going to talk to you about prayer, because I kind of feel that we've sort of done that in some of the things about what Christians believe and so on. So we're not going to talk about that. But what we might talk about instead is money. So let's talk Christian charity. Now the word charity turns out to be an old Christian word, and it means sacrificial love. It comes from a Greek word, agape. You don't want that. That's a red herring. But it's a fun red herring, but it's a red herring. And it means sacrificial love, where it's costly. It's costly to show this sort of love. Now, the church always just viewed that as being generally to do with love. But somewhere along the line, society have said, nah, let's talk money. It's all about money. So, charity has come to mean that bit of money that you give to some other charity. Oh, why, thank you. And so it comes to us as a church, because the church is a charity. And we, as a church, we do a bunch of charitable things. We do a bunch of charitable things. And so our prayer is that we will be able to use this money to do all sorts of good stuff. Now, we as a church do a bunch of good stuff. Come to that later. But we also give some of this money away. All right, and what Christians have been practicing for years is a thing called tithing. Not all Christians do that, but lots of Christians do that, and it's called tithing, where we give 10% of whatever it is that we earn, whatever it is we get with our birthday money, presents, washing in the local pub, if you've got a job washing up the local pub, tithing, this setting aside of 10% of our money for the purposes of giving to charity, and we will do that. Now, in Barkham Church, that's where I'm the rector, what we do is we give to lots of different charities. Some of them are Christian, some of them are not Christian, some of them are local. Like Bevan View down the road here is one of our charities that we give to. But then there's another charity, Peru People, is a charity that sort of does what Bevan View does, which is work with young adults with severe disabilities, severe complex needs. People do the same thing, but over in Peru. And so we send our money local, send our money abroad. Sometimes we give it to Christian work. Other times it isn't. There's an orphanage in India that we give some money to and help out with that. There's a hospital in Tanzania, and we gather our money and we give to that particular hospital. So this is a big deal. This is Christian charity that we're doing, and we've got a whole list of things that we give to. Usually it's to a group rather than to an individual, but sometimes we support an individual person. But we've got Farming Community Network is one of our things. So those of you who are familiar with the harvest and you see farmers going up and down, it's a difficult job, and sometimes they're happy and sometimes they're sad, and so there's this charity, Farming Community Network, and it's there to help them. So we give money to that charity, and our prayer is that it helps those people who are doing that sort of stuff. I could read the whole list, but I ain't going to do that. I'll spare you that. When we meet again very shortly, we're going to be looking at the role of the church in the local and worldwide community, but we're going to be looking at how we help our local communities, food banks, street pastors, things like that. See you shortly.